It's amazing to me how many actors show up and say that they're ready to do this and don't put their money where their mouth is. The actors that come out of school that say that they're just gonna do commercials to pay the bills while they, really concentrate on TV and film. Being a commercial actor is so hard, and you need training to do it. That training, that improv class is so important, especially if you just did 4 years of theater school. You need to wash all of that off and really just take all of that Shakespeare and store it for when you have a Shakespeare audition, but you don't need it in your commercial audition, and just really focus on just being yourself. And I think it's really hard for a lot of students. Knowing the business of what you're doing, treating this as a business is so important. Listening to your team, listening to the agent, the manager that you have. If they think that you need new headshots, you should probably get those new headshots. If they think you need a commercial class, you should probably jump in a commercial class. We've seen some really random emails coming through looking for representation, and it's clear that they're not putting in the work even before they're looking for an agent. And I know that people are taught that, well, once you find the agent, you're gonna have to get new headshots anyways. So what's the point? So why spend all this money ahead of time? You don't have to spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on headshots. You can spend $300. And if you're not willing to put that into it before looking for an agent, you're not ready for an agent yet. You really need to have the core stuff done before you look for an agent. The first thing you do is not look for an agent when you move to LA. It's so important to just turn off your phone, unless you're looking at sides on your phone, Don't be distracted by your texts. Don't be scrolling through social media. Don't be chatting with your next door neighbor. Focus. The chances are the session director or someone came out to give you instructions. Think of those 3 buttons that you're gonna do at the end. Give them options. You don't wanna just go in there and do it once and not have a backup. Think of those funny little quips that you're gonna add to that. How are you gonna make it different? How are you going to, if you're paired with another person, maybe you and them are running back and forth your lines. But don't be schmoozing, and don't be trying to make friends and treating it as social hour, especially now when no one's been at auditions for 3 months. Everyone's gonna wanna say hello to everybody, but you're still gonna have to be 6 feet apart. You're still gonna be wearing a mask. So just play it safe and keep your head down and focus. Keep it clean. For the most part, keep it clean. Don't pull your pants down at an audition. Where you grew up, the people that you have come in contact with, the jobs that you've worked at. No one has those same experiences as you. So you may think that you don't have anything unique about you, that you are just like every other actor in the room. You walk into a commercial audition and everyone looks like you. You're all unique. Everyone has something that makes them different, and that's what they want to see in the room. All the time we get the actor call, I don't think I'm right for this. They're taking themselves out of this potential opportunity. You don't know what they're looking for. I mean, yes, that is what they put down on the breakdown, but the casting director knows you. The casting director had the ability to look at your resume, to see your reel if you had it up on there, and still decided to bring you in based off your look and your resume, and trusted us that we knew what we were doing. I have the opportunity to submit everybody on the roster for everything. I don't. I'm specific because I know our actors and I know what they can do. Don't take yourself out of the running before you've even auditioned for the job. Half the time they don't know what they're looking for in the room. You go in there and they think they do, but they don't because they changed their mind. When you go into an audition You should never post about it. You should never give specifics about the product. You should never talk about, you should keep that to yourself. When you are on a SAG commercial set, your SAG commercial has a built-in NDA in that contract. So you cannot, you should not tweet about it, post about it on social media, take pictures and post those. If people on set are taking photos, you should always ask if you can do that, because you'll see people taking pictures. I'm sure the crew will be taking pictures. Sometimes the crew will be under very strict NDA as well. Sometimes they take your phone away. In Apple commercials, they're taking everything away. They're not letting you even have a chance to tweet about it or take photos. Even if you're not asked to sign a separate NDA, which is a non-disclosure agreement, until that commercial airs, you should not say a word. We want to know 2 weeks in advance before you leave LA. If you're not available to audition, you should let us know. You should let your reps know, because we're not going to submit you if you're not here for the audition, not here for the callback, not here for the booking. If you're willing to stay in town for a job, great. Let us know that. So at least we're aware of the situation. We hate being blindsided and finding out, you know, that you just booked a trip, or you just found out that you booked this theatrical job. When you knew about it, you probably had a pin in you for something. You knew that you auditioned for it. You know, we like to know about pins and avails theatrically. You know, more information is so important. Just communication is key. And if you're not sure, send it anyways. We always tell our actors who ask about commercial reels is don't put a commercial reel on your resume, a commercial one. Now this is ones that with your past commercials in it, we don't want Subaru to know that you had a Toyota. Okay. So that type of thing with conflicts. But theatrical reels, I love seeing a theatrical reel. That's kind of how we, you know, when we're looking for new talent, we want to see your theatrical stuff. Right. Comedy, drama, doesn't matter. We want to know that you've worked or can work and what you look like on camera. I think it's really important. I think some people look 10 years younger than they really are on camera. So it's really important for us to see that, because we're not in the audition room with you. There's no way for us to know. When all of this kind of started happening, we sent out a mass email to our clients saying, what do you have at home? What does your self-tape setup look like? Here's some links that we would recommend. Having a ring light, having an updated phone with storage. You don't need a whole lot of stuff. You don't need to go out and spend money. If you have an iPhone, you should be able to self-tape. You know, a tripod is helpful, but those ring lights have the little tripod already in there. Having a backdrop is important. Having a reader is important, but you can also record your lines on your iPad or your phone and record them back or play them back during your scene. If you don't have a reader, there's websites or Instagram accounts with people where you can go and pay someone to be your reader, or just call a friend and have them on your phone, you know, FaceTime with them and they'll be your reader. The crew, the director, production company all want to work with them for 12 hours and they want to hire them again. And they're professional, they just show up, they do their job, and they go home. They don't try to, you know, schmooze with the ad agency, or they don't, you know, they don't speak when they're not spoken to. You know, they're professionals. Always read what you're given on set. So if it's a SAG standard contract, there's going to be special provisions at the bottom of your page. Sometimes it's at the top of the second page, depending on how they photocopied everything. Read everything over. You know, from the time that we close the booking and negotiate those edits and the print, the people that are filling out the contracts are not the people that we negotiated with, because sometimes we're negotiating with you, with the casting director. Sometimes we're dealing with business affairs. Sometimes we're dealing with the producer. And the people who are writing up the contracts might be talent payment, might be someone else. So it's really important to go over all of those little details with your agent if you're not sure what you're signing. Because we will always tell you what to expect on your contract. And it's so much easier to get fixed once or while the actor's on set versus the actor took a picture, sent it to their agent a week later, and then I'm finding out that everything was wrong and that they didn't update the terms or that there's unlimited edits on the commercial, and we got it down to 3 edits. So those details are so important to go over and make sure that what you're signing is what your agent negotiated. You know, if you have questions, call your agent. Your agent's gonna know what you need to do or who to call, and make your agent the bad guy. That's what we're here for. You have every right to talk to your agent before you sign a contract. They should not rush you to set and tell you that you have to sign all of this stuff. You have every right to take a minute and say, I need to go over this with my agent, or I'll sign it when I get back. If you need me to go work. You can go work without signing your contract. Come back, and then you have to fill out the contract at the end of the day anyways with your out times and all of the other stuff. So if you're not sure, your agent should be able to get back to you within your time that you're actually there on set.
Right.
I just had an actor fly to Atlanta for a union job, and everyone had color-coded wristbands. They were not allowed in certain areas. Everyone had to stay in their certain group. Still social distancing, 6 feet apart. I think it's a brand new world when it comes to who you can talk to and not talk to on set. But I think it's even more important to listen to the people that are giving you instructions and reading the details that you're given ahead of time, because now everyone's health is at risk if you don't abide by those rules. So, you know, my client had 2-3 pages of details of who was allowed to go where, and you know, they were only allowed on set when the actor was on set. You know, hair and makeup couldn't come on until everyone was ready, and they had to still come and wear their guards, and it's just a crazy time. Now is not the time to be picky. There is just not enough national network work out there to, and union speaking, like no one's making a living off of national networks alone. It's the cables, it's the internet onlys, it's the low budget digital waivers, it's the social media waivers, all of that. And you never know who's directing that social media spot, or that casting director's working on that promo this week. A month from now is gonna be doing that feature film or that national network. We could meet with someone who maybe is with another agency and wants to move up, or just wants to move, and they have 100 credits on their resume for commercials, but they can come in and be a a-hole and we're gonna pass. Life's too short. Life's too short to work with people who are not nice. And the people, again, I think the people that get hired multiple times are being seen by the same casting directors, or being seen by the same directors and producers, are the nice people that people want to spend time with. And it's so important, especially now, to just be kind. And it seems so simple. You're not the star of the commercial as the actor. You know, the product is the star. And if you go in there with your head up your own butt and you think this is all about you, you've got another thing coming, and this is a very short-lived ride for you. I was an actor first. I graduated college with a theater degree, believe it or not, and moved out to LA to pursue acting. I thought it was gonna be easy once I got to LA.